Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to It's Time with Keandra Ward. As you know, of course, I'm your host, Keandra, the Bomb Mentoring Group, Bold Operations for Managing Business, where we help purpose-driven entrepreneurs navigate through the crossroads of entrepreneurship. Really amazing and glad to have you guys on with us today. If you're here, let me know that you're here. Make sure that you ask questions, comment, share information. We want these broadcasts to be interactive and live. We want to hear from you. So definitely let me know that you're here. Really excited about our special guest. And y'all know I say excited a lot, but I really am. People think I'm silly, but I am. I'm excited. I love to see people doing what God has called them to do. I love to see others moving in their genius, moving in their purpose. And it excites me. It really does. I absolutely love to see it. So we have a full agenda today. We are going to get started. So the first thing I wanted to chat about is the royal wedding. Okay. So let me just say this. A lot of people were talking about, because they're African, she's half black, and now we have black people in the, we had them in the White House, and now, over there. And I'm like, wait, at the end of the day, when you look at how they looked at each other, when you look at how they made sacrifices to be inclusive of each other's views, of their cultures in the wedding, that's what I looked at. I looked at the fact that they were so mindful of each other's history in the wedding. And it wasn't like, okay, we're going to do this because you're black or your mama's black. That's crazy to me. It's about love. And when what happens is, as human beings, we take the real issue out of things. So let's talk about that a little bit. If you think, what do you think about that? I thought it was really about a love story of two people. Yes, it's almost fairy tale-ish because of the way that it plays out. But at the end of the day, when you looked at those pictures and you saw the way that they loved each other and the way that they looked at each other, I don't know, but my view of the entire thing changed. My view of the entire process, what they had to go through, who they are as people changed. I said, man, look at how she looks at him. They absolutely love each other. And at the end of the day, to me, that is what God calls us to do. He calls us to love. And I looked at the love that they have for each other. And with them having the love that they have for each other, you have to understand that is now going to spew out into their cultures and their lives. And they are disrupting the status quo of both of their lives. And I think that's crazy amazing. And I just had to take a moment to comment on that because people talked about her mother, what the queen said, what they looked like and what they were. That's crazy to me. At the end of the day, those two, you could tell and you could see that they absolutely, positively loved the mess out of each other. So as we get into today's show, one of the things that I wanted to kind of backtrack and talk about, we talked about it last time, but next week, we're actually going to take a segment and talk about dealing with loss and how to effectively deal with loss. We're going to, in the next couple shows, we'll have some psychologists on. We'll really talk about what that process really looks like for us as individuals and for entrepreneurs. So make sure you stay tuned. Look at all of the flyers and everything that come out for that, because I really want us to have an amazing conversation about that. But let's move on to the reason why we're here. It has truly been amazing over the past, I can't even say it's been 6 months. Maybe January. No, it hasn't even been 6 months. There are some times where people will come into your life and they will shift a lot of who you are, what you believe, how you operate. And I'll say this only because we've talked about this before on the show. Sometimes it's really hard for, I've seen in the past, for women to come together and truly support each other, even if they kind of do the same thing, around them the same thing, or in the same atmosphere. Like, it's crazy how sometimes we begin to look at each other, and men may do this in entrepreneurship as well, as a threat or as competition, when in fact we should be looking at each other as resources and as help. And this past February, I was able to fly to California to speak to a group of women who, I mean, the love and support that they had for each other, and even for me, and they had never met me, was crazy amazing. At first I was like, okay. I was like, oh, this is different. Oh, I love this. Oh, wait. It's about truly loving each other and supporting each other. And I've watched them grow as a unit, and I've watched them grow as a family. And I was able to meet Miss Latonya there. It was crazy amazing to have her in the room. It was amazing to be able to speak to the women there and be able to meet her and hear about who she is and what she does and why she does it. So I'm going to give a little way. Let me go ahead and give a little bit of her bio, and then we'll bring her in, because you guys, I want to make sure that she gets all of her time, because she has so much to say to you all. So just to give a brief synopsis, as the CEO of the Customer Culture LW Special Events Management LLC and the founder of the International List, Latonya has created a phenomenal platform that is devoted to empowering the entrepreneur. Latonya is an authority on customer culture, diversity, and personality analytics. Her objective is building a company's culture that attracts excellent brand awareness and an environment that enables employees to thrive and succeed within the office, as well as when they engage with others. So I want you guys to give us a warm welcome as we bring up Miss Latonya Washington. Hi, can you hear us?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you all?
Absolutely fabulous. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming on. I want to get right to it. So tell us about yourself. I know I read a little bit of your bio, but talk about your history a little bit so they have a basis of who you are.
Well, my history a little bit is I am a native of the great state of Ohio. Yes, I am from the Midwest. Yes. I'm excited about that. But now I've been in California for, I would say, let's see, my son is 27. So about 28 years, been here in California, currently divorced, was married at the time. And me and ex are good friends now and have a great son. I'm excited about my life. I'm excited what God has done through me, what he's done to me. I'm just simply excited about all the things and what I've learned, even in my journey, going from nursing to where I am now. It's an amazing journey when I simply allow God to just order my steps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you started off in the healthcare field.
Started off in the healthcare field when I was young. Everyone always has their aspirations. Oh, I want to be a fireman. I want to be this. I want to be that. Well, I always wanted to be a nurse. And so, and that's what I pursued. I went straight there. And I look at it as it was a setup because, as you know, in the nursing field, you have to have a care and a love for people, a compassion. You have to have empathy. And all it did was segue me into where I am now. So I'll sit back and I'm like, wow, that's what it was.
Isn't it funny sometimes when we switch, and I've been there where you're switching careers. And at one point I was like, I wasted all that time doing that. But then you realize that it was preparing you for where you were going. Isn't that amazing?
Exactly. It's amazing. And that's exactly it. It was preparing me for where I was going, where I'm at now and where we're headed to, even in the future.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the customer culture. What How should businesses engage with it? Tell us a little bit about that.
I would love to. What the customer culture is, well, let me say this. We've all experienced bad customer service. I know around the world, you have, so many people have had bad experience with it. What I began to realize, it was getting out of hand. So I knew I'm the type of person, if I see something and it needs to be fixed, I'm the type of person that will execute and say, okay, we need to make some changes in regards to that. And so what the customer culture is all about, it is about taking a program and taking training into big companies that do have employees and training them on ensuring that they are giving their customers the best experience ever, so they will continue to do business with them, and how they can learn how to keep people as loyal customers. People on that roller coaster ride, where it's like, okay, people come in the door. If you don't know how to keep them, they're going to go to your competition. And so we have to learn how to, even with entrepreneurs. And so I now created a program just for the entrepreneur, because enough is enough. Enough is enough. And so it's time for us to do better and treat people right. Follow up. Don't get me started this morning, Keandra, because we can go there. And so, yeah, it is so necessary. And so many companies are starting to put money into training their employees.
Absolutely. And I mean, we really have to think about that, even as solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, because a lot of times we think about the product, we think about the programs, but we don't think about nurturing the customer. And in my business, I have two assistants. I have an assistant that's what she does. Like, you don't see her, people don't talk to her unless you engage with us on a one-on-one level. People don't even know she's there, because she's our customer support. Like, she does that. And I realized that early in, it's hard. First of all, it's hard to maintain all of that. You're trying to do classes, you're trying to do this,
that's right,
that. So even as corporations, they have to think about the consumer. That's where your money is. So you have to take care of. It's almost like home. You got to take care of home.
Yeah. And it's so true. And they forget about it, because everybody, like you said, everybody's focused in on the product and the service, and they're forgetting about the consumer. And that's why I always tell people, it's not good to chase money, especially for the entrepreneur. It's not good to just chase after money, because when you find yourself chasing after money, you begin to leave things behind that you should be taking care of, because you're chasing this. But if you take care of your customer and your clients, your consumer, and all it takes is one big hit. All it takes is one big hit. Take care of your people and do right.
So what would be some of the things that you would suggest that entrepreneurs and corporations do to begin, say they haven't thought about the consumer and even nurturing the consumer side of their business? What would some of the things that they need to do to start, just to even begin to think about it?
What I would say, first and foremost, realize that you need the training. A lot of people I've spoken to, they go into jobs and they said, well, they made me watch a video. Well, it entails more than just watching a video. You really, really need to realize, I need to be trained in understanding my customer. And that's why I called it the customer culture, because everyone has a culture. We have a culture, Black culture, Hispanic, everyone has a culture. Well, your customer has a culture too. And if you do not understand the nature of your consumer, you don't understand how they shop, what they love, who they are, you're going to miss it. And so it's about realizing wow, we really need to understand who we are dealing with, and then putting things into place to where now we need to have someone come in from the outside to train us. And it starts from leadership. I'm telling you, it starts from the top and it trickles down, because a lot of times when I go into companies, and I mean, I've gone into even institute colleges where I may just train the finance and the admissions department, and you'd be amazed how some of them would say, I wish the leaders, the executives would be in here, because they really, really need it, because we're trying to do better, but we can only go as far as they allow us to. And so realizing it's better to understand who you're dealing with and develop and create and put this program within the fiber of your being.
So leadership is extremely important in developing culture.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. The value, what you believe, all of that. It's very important.
And when we think about developing a culture as an organization, you have to develop a culture in the onset so that your employees adapt that culture.
Exactly. They have to be able to adapt, because if they don't understand what your culture is within your atmosphere, chaos can develop. That's when rumors start, gossiping begins to happen. And so right from the jump, always take out time. And I always tell them, make sure you're taking out time to people have the opportunity to know what this company is all about, because your values have to align as well. And then you go from there. If the values do not align, that would be like me saying I'm a Christian and I'm working for an atheist. Would that work? That's not going to work. Or like me saying, I do not like kids. I cannot stand being around children, but I'm working at Disneyland. I mean, come on now. No. Realize
that makes sense.
That does not align. Right. I am going to be miserable.
But you know what's funny? I used to say that in hair, and someone stopped me because I was like, I don't like people. And they were like, what do you mean you don't like people? And I was like, okay, it's not that I don't like people, but it was like, I don't like people in my space. And they were like, but you're on top of people during the hair. What are you talking about? You're the closest you can get to a person.
Exactly. And they're trying to talk to you. They're sharing their problems with you, all of it. And you're like, I don't want to be, don't talk to me. No.
And
that's therapy. They're therapy.
It was at that time, you know, my mentor at the time, and she was like, you know, Keandra, it's not that you don't like people, because you actually love people. You get them in here, you talk to them, and then, you know, like, you're like, I don't want to do this. But I had to realize that there's boundaries to things. And that's where I was. Yeah. I was like, it's not that I don't like people. I just don't want to share all my business with everybody. But that's
all. Yeah, that's wisdom. That's wisdom.
Yeah, I
know. Can't tell it all. Can't tell it all.
You say how you live, how you work how you work, how do you do what you do? Talking about you don't like, you touch people every day. So I mean, every day.
Hilarious.
Think about that. So what would be where should a company be when they need your services? So what do you think their mindset should be when they're looking for something of what you offer?
Well, their mindset should be open to realizing that I need to ensure my employees are being trained, and that somebody said, now funny, that my employees are in a space of being trained, and their minds have to be opened, because it's gotten to the place, and I know we've seen this from, I don't know if I can name airlines, but we've seen it in the news about airlines, all this stuff that is going on, because even though they think they know customer service, they really don't go in depth in regards to it. So it's a place of being open to receiving the extra, not just the simple smile, not just the handshake, but there's more to it, because we already know if you don't understand, just even in business, if you don't understand who the people are that are walking through your door, that are purchasing your product, what do they love? Am I doing surveys? Am I bringing everything in that I can to empower my employees, to empower my executive board, to empower leadership, to empower the entrepreneur. If you're not empowered, you're clueless. You don't know what people want. You don't know what to do next. So it's having an open mind to saying, I don't know everything. And I need to have someone come in and help me learn as much as possible so my business can grow, even as a company, as a corporation, whatever it is.
You know, that's funny. That's funny, but it's also needed. We have to get to a place of saying, I don't know everything, and ask for that additional help. And I find as entrepreneurs, sometimes that's the hardest thing for us to do, even in corporations. I've worked in the corporate sector, even in the corporate sector, and that's almost humbling yourself enough to say, I don't know it. And a lot of times people try to go take a class on it real quick to teach it. It's like, no, find an expert who this is what they do. You'll save so much time and energy by calling in an expert, letting them handle what they do, and let them go to the next one. And now your corporation can move to the next thing. So
Exactly. And it's just not one time. Yeah, and it's not just one time. I know for one organization, I've gone in and I've trained, and it's amazing because now even in the corporate sector, we have to be very careful because it can be harassment. You have to know everything. Some people, you can't give them hugs. You have to know these things because people will say that was sexual harassment, and you can be in the court. But even in the midst of it, I've had people that would come into the course, go through the project and say, can I hug you? And I had to think about that. And of course, yes, you can hug me because you asked and it's mutual. But I had to think about that. And it made me realize so many people are in desperate need of love. They're in desperate need of someone saying, hey, I'm here for you. Let me help you. And it's amazing. And so it's also allowing people to realize it's not, you need it not just one time in the year. It's segments that you have to stay in continual training because I stay in constant research. Right now I'm taking a course called Cultural Anthropology. I love the study of cultures. And you'd be amazed when you really understand what the different cultures, what they love, what they do. Some people you cannot touch. Some people don't love a lot of conversation. You really, really need to know it. So in that, realizing, don't go through this course just 1 year, just like one time through the whole year. You need it at least 4 times in a year.
Wow. And as new, and then you have to think about it as you employ new people, having that continuous education and that platform for people to grow. And I never thought about that. You have to think, can I hug you? Or what are some of the things that others around you or others around don't believe that you have to be mindful of when it comes to the consumer? Because we're looking at the inside, but what about the consumer of how to even approach or deal with your consumers so that it is not harassing? Whereas it's love to us, it may be harassing to them.
Exactly. Wow. It just may be. And if you don't understand that, you can be in a heap of trouble. And so there are little things. And like we said, people assume they know everything, but you don't. And so it's always great to understand who you're dealing with. And it's the only way that your company can grow, not from the outside as well as the inside, because we forget, take care of your people as well. They have a voice. There's a culture within the culture. And so make sure that you equip your employees, equip yourself with as much information as possible. So we keep everyone happy because it from the inside out.
There is a culture within the culture. That is good. And there is create the culture on both ends. And I think as entrepreneurs, we don't think about the totality of running a business, and that I tell our clients at the Bob Mentoring is you have 2 consumers. You have the people that work with you, and you have your customers. And
that's right.
To look at both entities, you literally have 2 consumers, and you have to how to manage and how to work with both of those consumers. And as entrepreneurs, we neglect that sometimes, I think.
Yeah, we neglect it. We do, especially because most entrepreneurs that we know, they're solo. They're operating alone. And so in that, as you said previously, where we have many hats are on. And so therefore, when you don't operate in a manner where it's like, okay, let me take out time and focus in on ensuring that I take care of my people, taking care of not only my employees or taking care of my consumers, I can lose. That means next month, honey, I may not have money to pay my mortgage. I may not have money to eat. So because it's the consumer that's paying me. And so it's something that we have to become focused in on, which means we can't run around and just do so much extra. Yeah. Even though we're some busy people, but when you take on a client, I can't admonish this as much. When you take on a client, take care of your clientele. Take care of them.
Yeah. Nurture.
And with modern technology, it's easy. We text message, we send a voicemail, we email, say hello sometime.
How you doing?
Don't just take my money and go. Right. You just took my money. I can't even find you anymore. Where are you? Hello.
And I think that yes, as an entrepreneur, we have to revamp that, because just recently in the past 2 weeks, our clientele and our books have gotten busier, and it grew at a pace that we were not expecting.
Right.
So the past week and even last night, we had a meeting and we're like, okay, let's regroup. So you even have to be mindful and honest in that process. Because I had to tell some people, I am so sorry. Let me stop and regroup. And we're not, we even got to the point where I stopped. I said, for the next 2 weeks, we are not enlisting any new clients until next month, so that we can revamp our processing. That's it.
That part right there. See, that was smart, because now your old clients are like, where are you? Where are you? And because it's all about building the relationship. And if you don't take care of your old clients, they'll leave. Yeah. Because there's too much competition out here, and people don't realize you have so many competitors. And as the years go on, it's going to get worse, because now you have a lot of people that are jumping into entrepreneurship. They're jumping into business ownership because either they're trying to reinvent themselves, they're getting laid off from their jobs, whatever it is, or they're realizing, I want to do my own thing. And so there's a lot of people out there doing it. So you have to ask yourself, what's going to make you stand out? It's not just what you give out and the training that you give, but how do you treat your people? And so how do you treat your clientele? They are human beings, and they want to feel that they matter. And if they don't feel that they matter, they will leave.
Absolutely.
They will.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. I mean, this has been an amazing conversation, because I'm like, oh, this is good. We talk about marketing, we talk about branding, we talk about graphics and
all that other stuff.
Yes.
And now you don't have a customer, and you wonder, why don't I have a customer? You didn't do them right. Okay.
Money for graphics.
You didn't do them right.
We got the graphics, we got all that stuff, and we don't have. That's so true.
Right. We don't think about our consumer, who's buying this, who has the money to purchase this, what company, who are they? And then when you do that, you begin to realize there are so many people. The more and more you give out and you provide, of course, the great information, and you show people how to do, and you take care of your customer, you know what? All they do is say, can you come back? Yeah. I still want to do business. And they begin to refer. So customer service is actually the new marketing. Give out some great customer service. They will tell the other people all about you. And next thing you know, word of mouth is big, and we forget about that. Yeah.
It is. So how can it can be more about the customer culture? Is there a website? How can they find you?
They can find us at thecustomerculture.com. It is there. And All the information, I would, definitely go and visit it. It'll tell you everything that we do, everything that we have. Now I've developed the podcast. It's the customer culture as well as YouTube videos, because I've learned that I'm really trying to, not only do we focus in on the big companies, of course, I'm realizing that so many entrepreneurs need this as well. And so we also have YouTube, the customer culture, where people can go in and get tips and get as much information as needed. Because sometimes you just are driving along in your car and I'm like, I'm on my way to a client. What am I friendly enough? What do I need to know? Do I understand that? Let me just get my mind in order. So that is there as well.
I love it. So I'm going to put this up here for on YouTube as well. All right. So with the entrepreneur, I know that you've said, okay, we're dealing with the consumer and the customer, but I definitely want to branch out and really help the entrepreneur in its totality. So I know that you have produced, directed, brought forth List Tour. So let's talk about that. What is the List Tour?
That's my baby. Oh, that is my baby. It is my baby. What it is for the entrepreneur. It is for them to be able to come in and obtain information from amazing instructors so they can develop strategies, so they can develop everything they need to then go out and get a return on investment from whether it's a product or a service. Because if you are not equipped with skills, if you are not equipped with training to do the work and then come in and we give you applicable information where you can now take this, still stay in connection with us, because we keep people accountable. I do not believe in people coming to the List Tour and falling off, because we already know people get so hyped when they go somewhere. Now, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Of course, we can't bring a horse to the we could take a horse to the water, but we cannot make the horse drink. But we also make sure that they're accountable and we follow up and just say, where are you? What else do you need help in? And so it is for the startup and the intermediate level entrepreneur that are looking for help. I don't know what I'm doing. I need some clarity. Help me. So we have people there that help you with creating your blueprint, your business plan, of course, marketing, branding, all of that stuff is there. But we meet people right where they are. And then also we do have a group here on Facebook. It's called the Entrepreneur Culture, where we also put in great tips and keep them accountable and check up on people. What's going on? I love it. And I'm crazy with it. I'm crazy with it. I'm like, what are you doing? You didn't do that yet? What? Okay, right.
Where is it at? What are you doing? I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So the List Tour, where we have the website up, but where can they find? Is it in one location? Do you travel? Like, how does that work? Is it online, offline?
It works. Sure. It works. We just left San Diego in March. It is a national tour. No, it's international now because we'll be in Lagos, Nigeria. Woo! But we just left San Diego. I know, exciting. Just left San Diego in March. We are now headed to Dallas, Texas. For you Dallas, Texas folk, if you know somebody in Dallas, Texas, we're there June 23rd. And then we're in Atlanta, Georgia, where you also will be speaking, young lady. Atlanta, Georgia, July 21st. And Los Angeles, which is our hub, that'll be September 15th. And then we're in Lagos, Nigeria, the week of, I think it's November 12th. We'll be in Lagos, Nigeria.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
So we do travel.
Yes.
Thank you. So
you cover all areas.
A lot of work. All areas. We cover all areas, and it's a lot of work. And we try to let people know that this thing is nothing for play. We have a passion for what we do. We have a passion for helping entrepreneurs. We don't want people to stay in a place of stuck. Because there is so much out there for people to receive. And I was just sharing with someone the other day, there's money out there for you. There is a return on investment. You just simply need to know how to develop your strategy, the tactics you need to do it, to go after it, and profit.
Absolutely.
It's out there waiting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So we're really excited about the list tour. And thank you so much for inviting me as a speaker and teacher. I am crazy excited. We've been talking about it and just, I think that it's so important that entrepreneurs get it, that there is support and you don't have to stay stuck.
You don't have to stay stuck. We stay stuck because either we're afraid to ask the question or we just don't want it. We're lazy.
Yep.
Or just don't want to procrastinate. But you do not have to stay stuck. And there are people around that will help you get unstuck. You just have to ask for it. Yeah.
Ask for help. And don't be afraid of asking for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And I think
because there is no dumb question.
That's the thing. We don't like to say, you know what, I don't know. Yeah. But I found that that's the most empowering statement that I have ever said. It is the most I don't get it. I don't know. You get it. Help me get it. Like,
help me get it. Right. Right. And that's why you need your mentors. That's why you need those ones that will challenge you around you, because sometimes you just need those individuals that, you can ask them anything and they don't look down on you or anything like that. And so even finding those persons that that are at that next level that you can talk to and ask anything. But two, we have to sometimes get out of our own ego. Because sometimes, especially too, when it comes to social media and everything that we're doing out there, the perception is real. And so once we put up that perception, people see me a certain way. So if I start asking questions, they'll look down on me. And so we have to let that go. Yeah. Even if you don't want to ask find people that you can ask and that can help elevate you. And so we have to get to that place. Otherwise, we will be stuck.
And a lot of it is in our mind. A lot of times we're thinking to think a certain thing about us, or, they're not going to help me. You haven't even asked. You don't even know if they're going to help you. You've already prejudged a situation before you even ask. So crazy to me. Like we have already like me. How you know? They don't even know you. They're not even thinking about you.
Right. Not thinking about you. And sometimes it comes with trial and error because too, a lot of times people are afraid to ask because maybe they've asked other people in the past and people have said, I'm going to help you, and they don't. And you know how it happens over and over again when we ask people for help and people don't help us. Now we put not just a fear, but it's like, I'm not going to ask anyone because no one really wants to help me. But you have to keep at it because there are people out there that really, really will help. Yeah. Find someone else. Yeah. Find someone else.
Find a person that's willing to help you. So
exactly.
And to wrap up, I wanted to ask you, what information would you like to share? What tips with our audience, with entrepreneurs, with corporations? I want you to just release some knowledge.
Yeah, just release some knowledge. What I always want people to realize is don't ever sell yourself short. And remember, we were created to create. That's what we are. We're created. We are beings who are created to create. A lot of times people are trying to find their way, or they're saying, I don't know which direction to go in. And so I always ask them, well, what is it that that you feel that you're supposed to do? And when I throw out those questions, people begin to spill. They begin to talk about, I love doing this and this and this and this. And I'm like, okay, bingo. So let's go there. So evaluate where it is, where you are now, where it is that you want to be. Develop the skill sets that you need to take you to your level. If it means you have to, you say you're in the business of, I think I see LaShawn, you're creating cupcakes, and we love those cupcakes with LaShawn and Nyla's cupcakes. Well, she is a go-getter, and there were things that she knew that she had to put in place. Though she knew she can make a mean cupcake, it was more than the cupcake. And so for the people that are listening, realize the fact you might have raw talent. We all have raw talent somewhere, but go out and develop that raw talent to where that talent is so fierce that you now are getting a return on your investment from doing the things that you know you were called to do. I truly, truly believe in prayer and going to God for everything, because we need the wisdom. And in that wisdom, we also need understanding. And so in the midst of it all, understand what you're going into, understand what it's going to cost you, because we can see it as a sacrifice. Well, you're going to have to sacrifice your time to do what you love to do. But getting to that place of realizing this is what I'm called to do, and I am going to do it. Stay consistent, stay persistent, and do not stop. I don't care if it didn't look right the first time. Keep at it. Especially when you know this is what you're called to, go for it and keep going. But know that's what you're called to. If you don't know, ask somebody.
I like
that's
that.
That's definitely one thing. Yeah.
Ask somebody.
Somebody, because there are people around, and a lot of times we forget there are people around. And this is another thing. Sometimes we have to ask people the question, how do you perceive me? Do I come across nasty? How do you do I do too much? How do you perceive me? And then when people tell you, and find people that are going to tell you the truth. Amen. Because sometimes you need to know how am I coming across, and take that information and use it for your benefit, because sometimes we propel people away. We can be the best at whatever we do. I mean, we can sing praises unto God. We can do it all, but then attitudes are nasty. Yeah. And so therefore people can't see the God because they're looking at your attitude. And so we have to ask people, how do you perceive me? What, and then say, okay, I need to change my ways, because you don't want to be an individual that propel people away from you. You want people to want to be in your presence. And so it's always good to, and I call it a survey. Ask, like, how do you perceive me? How do I look? How am I coming across?
Personal survey. You know what? I had to do that. Mm-hmm. I've had to do that. And I know I'm not even going to say I asked them. I knew I was mean back. Oh my God. In my play, no games. It was right. But I also knew that was a cover up and a shield for things that I had not dealt with in life.
Right.
So it really wasn't mean to people. It was me putting up a shield to protect. And as I got older and wiser and became more in faith and in love with God, I had to look at what type of being I projected to others. Yeah. And I had to ask cousins, I asked friends, and then I went back and apologized to a whole lot of people. I did. Yeah. And then I explained why I was the way that I was. So that introspection and that ability to be real with you makes an amazing. I think that because it allows you to always be authentic and always be real. It allows you to say, you know what, I messed up. I did. I'm sorry.
That's it. And say, I'm sorry. It's okay. Those are words that people have a problem. They have a problem saying, or they say it so much that it doesn't mean anything. And so sometimes it's you know what, you can change the trajectory of how people feel and want to do business with you just by saying, I'm sorry, and really meaning the words, as opposed to, oh, I'm sorry. You're just so used to saying I'm sorry now to where we know you ain't sorry. And so, and it's okay. I have control issues. Yes. Wanting to be in control. And where did that come from? It came from a lot of times being let down. And so then therefore, and this is with a lot of entrepreneurs. And so therefore, it's like you have to put you have to put everything on your back and carry everything, because sometimes we feel if I don't do it, it's not going to get done right.
Yes.
But learning how we have to just go to God and say, God, bring the people into my life that can help me, that can be there for me and assist me to get to where I need to go, because we cannot do everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This has been absolutely amazing. So we know to go to thecustomerculture.com and thelisttour.com to learn more about Mrs. Latonya Washington and all of the things that she is doing for corporations and entrepreneurs around the world. It is so amazing to see someone just actually going out there and doing it. A lot of times we are so afraid to step out there. And that's why I tell people, you have to move afraid. You cannot be ashamed or afraid to jump out there and do what you're called to do. And like she said earlier, if you see a need, she saw a need, and so she filled it.
That's it.
And as entrepreneurs and as creators, that's what we're called to do. You see a need, you fill the gap so that the need is met, so that people can be who they're called to be and do what they're called to do effectively. So thank you so much for joining.
You are so welcome. Thank you for allowing me to be here. It was simply wonderful.
Yes. So we have all of your information. I will make sure that it's in the post, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So guys, it has truly been an amazing show. Think about that. Think about the things that were stated today. Think about the things that we discussed. You have to create a culture inside and outside of your business for the people that work with you and for the people that you serve. And creating a customer culture is the basis and bottom line of your profit and everything that you do. Because why? We are not in this by ourselves. We need people. We need people. So we're excited. Now listen, you know I like to bring on certain things that I'm going to have Miss Latonya come right back up in a moment, because I want her to explain what this is. But you guys know I like to ask and see if we can get a beautiful giveaway for our viewers and live listeners. Now, 2 things you have to do. I want you to take the first person, one person that inboxes me one key takeaway from today's show within the next 15 minutes will receive the project list planner that Miss Latonya produced. So let's talk about this planner.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am here. What the project list planner is, and as you see, it says it makes you accountable for your success, because for me personally, I have to write everything down. And as an entrepreneur, we need to make sure we have planners so we can plan our lives out. And what's inside this, not only does it have the calendars and all the stuff that you see from the calendars to the notes where you can take notes, but it also includes a time management. So you can write down, so say from 7 to 8 o'clock, you need to do this. It takes you step by step, hour by hour, what you need to do. Because what I found out too, and I love the fact that that's in there, because what I found out, we can get so caught up in one project and like, oh God, it spilled over into the next hour. But we need to know when to stop and when to start on the next thing. And so that's what this planner is. It's ensuring that you plan out your days, plan out your months, plan out your years, so you don't forget. And so you don't forget, oh, I should have made that call to that customer and I forgot, because you didn't plan it out and you forgot about it. Yeah.
So thank you so much for being so willing to offer that as a gift to our live viewers. Remember, you have 15 minutes. The first person that inboxed me a takeaway from the show within 15 minutes will grab that information. Then once you receive it, We want pictures. I want Ms. Latonya to be able to utilize that because we want to show people, and we want to let others know that it's available so they'll know how to get it, because we all want to help each other out. Why? First of all, after we get off, I'm going to go online and order mine, because I'm like, wait, step-by-step project. Now, I didn't know that part was in there. I need that. So I promise you, I want you guys to engage in that. Visit thecustomerculture.com. Make sure you get your project list planner and stay accountable to yourself first. Stay accountable to yourself and then be accountable to others. So thank you again. I wanted to bring you back up so you could talk about it a little more. Please let others know where they can get the planner. How can they get it?
You can actually go to the website, the List Tour, TheListTour.com, and you can order your planner there, and we'll ship it out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's finalize this. Give us one last tip for entrepreneurs and companies that you know has helped propel you in your business.
First of all, thank you once again for allowing me to be here on this awesome Monday morning. My giveaway, well, what I want to say to you all is always remember your consumer is they're the ones who are really, really the ones that are taking great care of you. So when they take care of you, you make sure you're taking great care of me. Develop within your company, whether it's a corporation, a big company, whether you're a solopreneur, develop the mindset that I am going to create a customer-focused culture. Develop it. If you need help, give us a call. We'll talk you through it and send you more information on what you can do. But develop a customer-focused culture within your culture.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I truly appreciate it. I'm so excited to join you all again in July. I am ready to help do what you called us to do in Atlanta.
Yes.
And you can also find out how to get tickets if you're in Houston, Atlanta, Las Vegas.
Dallas.
Oh, not Las Vegas, Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And then
let's see, Dallas, Atlanta, Los Angeles.
Okay. So you
Those
can
find
out how to grab your tickets. If you are not in those areas, but you know entrepreneurs in those areas, send them to theListTour.com and make sure, you know what? I would even say, bless them, buy their ticket for them, bless them, and give them that leg up to move into 2019, ready to move afraid and do what they're called to do in business. So guys, I thank you again, Ms. Latonya.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you do. Keep it up, girl.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So guys, listen, we are wrapping it up. I know you enjoyed that because I enjoyed it. I was all in it. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, that's good. I took some things away today that are going to help me in my business and help me reevaluate the customer culture. I'm going to look at, and guess what? We'll be contacting the customer culture to do training for my team. Why? Because I believe that it's needed. If you want to grow, you have to do the things that you need to do. You have to place that personal investment in the things that you believe in. I said the other day that we believe Coach purses and Fendi bags, but we won't believe in enriching ourselves. That's crazy. And bringing more to the table than what you have to understand to grow. More. You have to learn more. You have to ask for more. You have to share more. And sometimes you have to invest more. A lot of times you do have to invest more to grow so that you can go from, a small business to a corporation. Most huge corporations started as small businesses, but how did they get there? What was that key thing that tweaked it from a small business to a full-blown corporation? The investment in themselves, the investment in their product, and the investment in the growth of their teams and their consumers. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this. I am all over it. I can't wait to go back and listen to the replay and take my own personal notes and begin to execute these things. Remember, visit the listtour.com and the customerculture.com if you want to know more and how to engage, how to interact, and how to join them. And also, I said I would tell you guys some of the things that we have going on. Remember, we are going to be in Atlanta for the list tour. So if you are in the Atlanta surrounding areas or you're in Tampa and you want to come with us to Atlanta, let me know. Listen, let's rent a bus. Let's do it. Let's do what we need to do to get you where you need to go. Let's do that. And we are crazy excited. We will be releasing the announcement every year. We do our Vision to Manifestation full day workshop. It is preparing yourself for the oncoming year. So we're in 2018. We'll review your 2018, go into your 2019, and make sure that you're ready. You're already planned. Now I'm like, how can we bring the project list planner? I may have to buy a whole bunch of those so that we can have that for you for the Vision to Manifestation. We need to incorporate that into it. But last year, we were there for 9 hours. It was a full day. And at the end, you guys said, I want to do something different. And guess what, guys? We have rented an amazing home by the water here in Florida. And we will soon be releasing our Vision to Manifestation weekend business retreat. It'll be in October. Crazy excited. The team, listen, guys, we fought on where we were looking at which place to choose, but we found the best place for you all. We're going to bring in expert teachers, really plan out, make sure your branding is on point, make sure your marketing is on point, and make sure your planning and understanding is on point for 2019. We want you to be ready in 2018 for 2019. One of my mentors always say, don't get ready, be ready. So when January 1st, 2019 comes into play, you need to already be ready. You need to already know what you're doing for the year, who you need to reach out to, you need to already be ready. And January 1st, you need to be implementing, not doing vision boards January 1st. You need to be implementing that thing January 1st. So I'm really excited. Stay tuned on our website, thebombmentoring.com, to find out more information. We'll be bringing that. And of course, the speed networking, our yearly speed networking event is coming up. Look out for the information from that. You do not want to miss that amazing event. Next week, we have one of our local Tampa artists, as well as entrepreneurs who are changing the face of the gospel industry in the Tampa Bay area. I'm really excited to have him on. Actually, not next week, because next week is the holiday, but the week after. So we'll have that. Mr. Warren Davis, excited about some of the things that he's doing, the Gospel Fest that is coming here to the Tampa Bay area. You guys do not want to miss it, because you'll want to hear about what he's doing to change the face of gospel in the Tampa Bay area, and how we're just excited about that opportunity and how we can all share in that. So yes. Oh, hey, Denise, you're excited for this Saturday? I know. Oh, I forgot. Thank you. So Denise is a part of our Move Afraid Entrepreneurs Network. Our Move Afraid Entrepreneurs Network is a network of entrepreneurs who are ready to put down their fears and activate their faith and move afraid. And we are having a meetup this Saturday. We are doing a cook, eat, and mingle event. So it's going to be awesome. If you want to know more information about connecting with the Move Afraid Entrepreneurs Network, please feel free to inbox us. Denise is actually in Chicago, so she is in town. She's flying in, so we're really excited to have her. So listen, guys, you have to know that it is time. It's time to move afraid. It's time to jump. It's time to shift. Whatever it is that you're called to do in life or business, it's time to get it done. There's no time to waste. If God gave it to you, guess what? He is going to bless you if you step forward and operate in it. He did not call you for such a time as this for you to just sit on it. He called you for such a time as this to move, to activate, to shift, because there is someone out there that needs exactly what you have. I don't care. Denise sells cake. I don't care if it's a cake. I don't care if it's a cupcake. I don't care if it's a teaching and or ministry gift. He has called you to do it. So do not be afraid. It's time with Keandra Ward. It's time to shift. Move from fear. Let's activate our faith and be who God has called us to be in all areas of our lives. So I appreciate you guys. I love you. Stay tuned. Remember, it's Memorial Day or Memorial Weekend next weekend. So enjoy your weekend with your family. And we'll be back the following Monday with Mr. Warren Davis. See you guys soon.